Hello and welcome to the ACT and College Prep program. This is a wonderful program that's in addition to our basic software package through College Coaching Network. We again want to welcome you to a 10-minute preview of the following items. We're going to talk about today the endowment reports, college admission reports, FAFSA calculation, college admission tracking, and ACT test prep. So let's get started so we can keep this to 10 minutes. So first we have a report here which is called our aid eligibility comparison report. This is also known as an endowment report. And so a lot of times when families apply to go to colleges, they don't understand or they have a misconception on how much the endowment will do to make a difference in the bottom line cost of each college. So we're going to do a quick comparison. This is KU, this is WashU in St. Louis, and this is Missouri, which is there in Columbia. So of course KU and MU are both public schools and WashU is a private school. So we'll look at both of these schools that are public in comparison to the private school WashU. So we're going to look at 2014-15 as a year of graduation. So they're coming out this year, or they should be coming out in 2016, however you want to look at that. But the total cost is $37,000. That's tuition, room and board, books, and all that good stuff. And then you've got $63,000 going down here to WashU. So if I was a parent and I looked at both of these universities, I would definitely say you're not going to the $63,000 college because it's a lot more expensive than the $37,000 college. So what we also do is we look at the inflationary factor. That factor basically is 5%. Some schools are higher every year in rising costs. Some schools are lower, but the average, what we see, is about 5%. So that cost for 2017, 2018, if the student was coming out in about a year and a half, 2 years, would go from $37,000 to $42,000 because of inflation, and $63,000 would increase to $73,000. Okay, and then what we have here is called an EFC. That's expected family contribution. So I'm going to flip over real quick so you can see how that number is calculated, which ties right into your FAFSA. So this here is a breakdown of what an EFC, expected family contribution, looks like. So the family has an adjusted gross income of $80,000 a year, husband and wife, or just one person. And then what we look for is every exclusion, which is like tax deductions that your CPA will find for you. And so there's the U.S. income tax exclusion, the state tax allowance, FICA, and all those things that are there. And that gives you available income that is reduced from $80,000 down to $36,563. So after those exclusions, that is the number that is determined for the calculation of your EFC, and that comes down here to $11,294. Okay, so going back over now, you see how they came up with that number for public. And if you notice, the EFC for public schools is higher. This is what the government says you have to pay based upon family size, income, assets, all those things that, again, we help you calculate back over here. Even your asset protection allowance, which is a certain amount of money that you can have for every year of your age to make sure you don't get disqualified for financial aid. So let's go back here. You'll see those numbers for the public schools are here, and then private school, the EFC is $10,180, so it's about $1,000 cheaper. So now you come down here, you're going to find out what you're eligible to receive. So they're going to take what the government says you have to pay minus a total estimated amount to go down there, cost of attendance, and then this here is what you're eligible to receive in financial aid. Now, this school is KU, it's $31,588 in this example. And of course, you have to go by what they tell you when you fill out your FAFSA form, but this is just an example. The average aid that they do is about 52% of the total amount that you need in aid eligibility, so that's $16,000. WashU does 100%, so that's 63 needed, they give you 63. And then you've got MU, which is average. Again, this is all case by case, but we have the average numbers. It's 79%, which 79% of 17,000 is 13,722. So you need 31, you're getting 16, that's leaving you about 15,000 short. You need 63, you get 100%, so you're not short anything. And then you need 17, they give you 13, so you're about 3,582 short. Okay, so typically we see that any shortfall that's there is taken out in the Parent Plus loan. Okay, which we definitely want to avoid those if at all possible. But I just want to point out one quick thing to you. If you look here, the average gift is about 58% of what they award. So out of that 16,000, 9,527 is the average gift. If you look here at the WashU, from their endowment, they give you about 57,726, which is their financial aid package, which is non-refundable, non-repayable, I should say, money that comes from the university. So would you like to go to a school that may give you 100% financial aid that you need and out of that 57 you don't have to pay back, as opposed to only getting 9,527 and that you don't have to pay back. Not knocking one school against the other, and I'm just looking at the numbers. Let's go down. You can see the immediate out-of-pocket costs to go down to the first public school is $26,456, and what they're doing is taking what the government says you have to pay plus the shortfall, because they don't give you 100%. They average out at 52, so that's 26,000 out of your pocket. Going to the private school is actually 10,000 out of your pocket. So now, which one of those schools is cheaper? And you can also see here it's 14,000 to go to the other public schools. So even though the school was a sticker price of 63 compared to 37, even with inflation, 42 compared to 73, you still have cheaper out-of-pocket expenses because of the endowment. So we can run these reports for you for every school you're looking at, unlimited schools in our program. So also, if you come here, you're going to also see the graduation rates, 4-year, 5-year, and 6-year. There's a 36% 4-year graduation rate to the public school, 88% 4-year graduation rate, 47% 4-year graduation rate. So there's a high probability that you can actually come out of this school in 4 years. It may take you 4 or 5 years for those other schools. So I just wanted to point that out to you as well. And then we'll break down the total cost, what will college cost. So the EFC, you're going to look at a total amount here, which is roughly going to be about $62,127 for a public school, and $45,000, which is Parent Plus loans, if you don't get the maximum you can out of the college that you apply to. So we give you those numbers in the program as well. And then also college leveraging, it's good to know the information on those schools, because then you can apply to the right schools. And this student, again, was actually looking at a total cost of attendance of $56,906. Family's contribution was going to be $50,000, and they were getting $6,000 coming from the school's work study and scholarship, which is like your endowment. And so they appealed it using things on our system, and that actually got increased to $34,542. That's coming from the university as opposed to coming out of the pocket of that family. So that really did help out a lot by using the appeal process. So also we do these admission reports, which breaks down all the contact information to the university, all the university information there. Average ACT test score, 17% score between 30 and 36, 24 and 29 are around the 50 percentile, and 18 to 23 is 30 percentile. It shows you the application fee here, which is $30, 2.5 if you're transferring from one school to another one. You can research this stuff all yourself and spend hours upon hours of time trying to get this data, or if you're in our program, just ask us for it and we'll send it over to you in your software profile. So we can make your life a lot easier going through this process.